You have prayed about it. You have listed the advantages and the risks. You have asked for a sign, but the answer still does not feel clear. And the longer you wait, the more afraid you become of choosing wrongly. You know the tension. Should you accept that new job or stay where you are? Is it time to move to a new place, step into an unfamiliar direction, or say yes to a major opportunity? Or perhaps you are weighing whether to stay in a relationship or leave a situation that has grown unhealthy. You are not just afraid of making a mistake. You are afraid of disappointing God, missing His plan, impacting your family, and living with a lifetime of regret. So you keep overthinking, begging heaven for another sign, delaying the moment of choice, hoping that one day the answer will suddenly become completely risk-free. But what if the reason you still cannot decide is not that God has given you no wisdom? What if you are asking Him to remove a responsibility that only you can carry? In this message, we will not promise a secret shortcut to bypass your choices. Instead, we will explore 5 biblical ways to make a difficult decision with God, moving forward with wisdom, faith, and peace.
Way number 1, identify what kind of decision you are actually making. Is this decision a question of right and wrong, or is it a choice between 2 responsible paths? We often make the mistake of treating every choice as if it were a spiritual riddle, constantly asking, which option has God secretly chosen for me? But decisions are not all created equal. They generally fall into 3 distinct categories. First, a moral decision. This is a choice where one option clearly contradicts honesty, fidelity, personal safety, or explicit biblical principles. In moral decisions, you do not need a supernatural sign to justify doing what is right. The boundary is already clear. Second, a wisdom decision. Here, both options are morally acceptable, but they carry different benefits, different risks, different sacrifices, and different costs, such as deciding whether to stay in a stable job or accept a new opportunity. And third, a timing decision. The overall direction may be good, but the real question is whether to move now or prepare further, gather more resources, or fulfill present obligations first. In 1 Corinthians chapter 10, Paul offers a profound insight, reminding us that while many things are permissible, not everything is beneficial or constructive. A choice can be morally allowable without being wise for your present circumstances. In quiet moments, we can define our choice into one clear sentence. I am deciding whether to take action on this specific choice before a specific time. Then ask honestly, is this a moral issue, a wisdom issue, or a timing issue? You cannot seek clarity effectively until you understand what kind of clarity the decision actually requires. Once you know what kind of decision you are facing, the next question is more uncomfortable. What are you secretly hoping this decision will give you? Way number 2, examine what is driving your decision. Are you being gently led by wisdom, or are you being pushed by fear, ego, loneliness, or pressure? 2 people can walk down the exact same road, yet be driven by 2 entirely different motives. One person might accept a new job out of legitimate, prayerful growth. Another might take it simply to prove their worth to people who overlooked them. One person might stay in a relationship because there is a genuine basis for healing. Another stays out of terror of being alone. One person leaves a situation because it is necessary and responsible. Another leaves simply to avoid a difficult, honest conversation. To examine our hearts, we can gently test our choices through 4 questions. First, fear. If I were not afraid of failure, criticism, or loneliness, how would I view this choice? Second, ego. Do I want this because it is right or because it makes me look successful to others? Third, pressure. If nobody else in the world ever knew about my decision, would I still choose it?
And fourth, avoidance. Am I moving towards something better, or am I just running away from discomfort? In 1 Samuel 16:7, God reminds us that while people look at outward appearances, the Lord looks directly at the heart. Having mixed emotions does not mean you are failing. The goal is simply honest self-awareness. And James chapter 3 describes the wisdom from above as pure, peaceable, open to reason, and sincere.
In quiet moments, we might complete 3 gentle statements. I am hoping this choice will prove that. What I fear most if I don't choose this is. And the truth I am hesitant to face is. Before asking God to confirm your choice, ask Him to reveal what is driving it. But pure motives alone do not make a decision wise. Sincerity cannot replace facts, preparation, or an honest understanding of the cost. Way number 3. Count the cost instead of imagining only the reward. Have you considered the full, realistic cost of each option, or only the bright future you hope it will create? When we desperately want a specific outcome, human nature plays a dangerous trick on us. We exaggerate the benefits of our preferred option, downplay the obvious risks, idealize the final result, and search only for information that confirms what we already want. We may even dismiss realistic warning signs, treating them as a lack of faith. But authentic faith never requires you to deny reality. Before committing to a choice, wisdom asks us to examine 4 practical areas. First, responsibilities. How does this choice impact my family, my health, my existing commitments, and those who depend on me? Second, resources. Do I actually possess the time, finances, skills, energy, and support required to sustain this decision? Third, risks. What happens if this plan does not succeed as expected, and can any risks be reduced beforehand? And fourth, sacrifices. Every choice requires giving up something else. The question is not just, what will I gain, but what am I willing to pay? In Luke chapter 14, Jesus himself used the image of a builder who sits down first to count the cost before laying the foundation of a tower. Counting the cost is not evidence of weak faith. It is an essential part of responsible commitment. Remember that no path in life is completely cost-free, and staying indecisive carries a heavy cost of its own. Lost opportunities, lingering anxiety, and narrowed choices. A faithful decision is not one that costs you nothing. It is one whose cost you have honestly considered and are willing to carry responsibly. Yet your own perspective will always have blind spots. So how do you seek advice without allowing other people to make the decision for you? Way number 4, seek counsel without surrendering your responsibility. Who should have a voice in your decision, and who should not be allowed to control it? Seeking counsel is essential because our own perspective will always have blind spots. Good advice can reveal overlooked risks, unrecognized motives, a third option we never considered, or the sharp difference between what we want and what reality actually demands. But asking too many people creates chaos, filling your mind with noise rather than wisdom. We must be intentional about who we listen to. Look for advisors who understand your real situation, possess relevant experience, do not directly benefit from your choice, and have no desire to control you. Look for people who love truth enough to speak hard realities and who respect wisdom and responsibility rather than confusing their personal opinions with God's will. Instead of asking people, "What do you think I should do?" which hands them your steering wheel, try asking deeper, diagnostic questions. What risks am I missing? Where is my logic weak? What motives might be driving me? What preparation am I overlooking? Proverbs 15:22 reminds us that plans succeed through trusted counsel. And in Acts chapter 15, when the early church faced a massive, difficult disagreement, they didn't rely on a dramatic, emotional sign. They gathered together, listened to evidence, weighed scripture and facts, and reached a mature, responsible conclusion together. Remember that wise counsel is input, not abdication. A counselor can help you see more clearly, but they cannot live with the consequences of your choice for you. Seek enough counsel to expose your blind spots, but do not ask other people to carry the responsibility God has entrusted to you. After you have prayed, examined your motives, counted the cost, and sought counsel, the hardest moment arrives, choosing without knowing exactly how the story will end. Way number 5. Choose faithfully, then stop putting the decision on trial. How do you finally choose when complete certainty still does not arrive? There comes a point where another week of overthinking, another video, or another opinion will no longer create wisdom. If you have identified the type of decision you face, checked scripture, tested your motives, gathered key facts, counted the cost, sought wise counsel, and prayed with an open heart, then it is time to choose. Setting a reasonable deadline for your choice prevents procrastination from disguising itself as spiritual waiting. Once you choose, step forward into your first action. Prepare for the risks you already identified, but stop reopening the case every time an uncomfortable emotion surfaces. Reevaluate only if genuine new facts or major consequences appear. Here is a crucial insight. A difficult outcome does not automatically prove that you made the wrong decision. A wise, faithful choice can still encounter unexpected hardship, changed plans, opposition, or painful lessons. The quality of your choice must be judged by the wisdom and integrity you brought to it at the time, not solely by an outcome you could never control. Look at Nehemiah. Nehemiah prayed deeply, but he also surveyed the walls, created a plan, requested resources, and acted. Prayer did not make planning unnecessary, and planning did not make trust unnecessary. And Philippians 4 reminds us that God's peace guards our hearts. Divine peace accompanies responsible action without guaranteeing that the path will be easy. Once you have chosen with prayer, wisdom, and responsibility, faith may mean moving forward without reopening the case every time fear returns. What if the unclear season was never meant to be wasted time? What if it is teaching you how to walk with God in a far deeper way? As we reflect on these truths, you must release yourself from the frightening belief that there is one secret, hidden, perfect choice, and that making one wrong move will cause God's entire plan for your life to collapse. You may not receive a vivid dream, a repeating supernatural sign, an overwhelming feeling of certainty, or a magical answer that removes every risk. But you can still choose what aligns with Scripture. Stay honest about your motives, honor your present duties, listen to wise counsel, prepare for predicted consequences, and remain humble enough to adjust along the way. God is not asking you to possess divine foresight or predict every consequence of the next 10 years. He is asking you to walk honestly with the wisdom you have been given today. Your responsibility is not to control the ending of the story. Your responsibility is to make the most faithful, wise decision you can and remain teachable as the road unfolds before you. You do not need perfect foresight to make a faithful decision. As you walk away today, carry these 5 quiet steps in your heart. Identify what kind of decision you are making. Examine what is driving you. Count the real cost of every option. Seek counsel without surrendering responsibility. Then choose faithfully and move forward. In your quiet moments today, bring your decision before God and consider these 5 honest questions. Is this a moral, wisdom, or timing decision? What is truly driving me toward each option? What will each option realistically cost? What do Scripture, facts, and wise counsel actually reveal? And which choice can I carry with the greatest honesty and responsibility? Try whispering this one simple prayer today. God,
Do not simply confirm what I already want. Give me the wisdom to see clearly, the honesty to face the cost, and the courage to choose faithfully. If you are asking God for wisdom about a difficult decision today, consider leaving a simple reflection in the comments below. God, help me choose with wisdom. And if your soul seeks a calm, reflective space for messages of scripture, faith, healing, and hope, please subscribe to When Heaven Whispers.
You may not control what happens after your decision, but you can choose with prayer, wisdom, and a heart that is willing to follow God.